Hey everyone, it's Matt aka Tech Ranger, and welcome to another edition of the best graphics mods on Skyrim Special Edition on the Xbox One. And this one is going to range from smaller mods to a little bit bigger mods, but not as big as the first part. And a lot of these, if you're familiar with my current load order, are actually in that. So if you haven't checked that out already, you can go and check that out. There'll be a card at the top. Some of these are mods that you've seen before if you've been watching the channel all along, but if you're new here, you haven't seen them on my channel obviously, but you may have seen them elsewhere. And if maybe there's something that you haven't seen before that's in this video, or maybe you have a question about something, leave that in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's jump into some mods. Now, Better Skies is not a big mod at all, and it's something to complement something like Surreal Lighting or even Mythical Ages, the weather mod that changes lighting as well as weather. Right now this is being used with Mythical Ages. If you really like the look of this, then you might want to combine it with that. You can actually use this with any other graphics mod, anything with lighting, stuff like that. I don't know if I would maybe combine it with something like a 4K Galaxy mod or something like that. This does change the skies in the game and does what it says, makes them better. So definitely check this out if you like the way this looks. I'm really digging it. Maybe you will too. Check it out. It's only like 13 kilobytes. It's worth a shot. Now this mod is just a little bit bigger than the other one, but it's still under 1 megabyte, and it has kind of like an overarching change throughout the world of Skyrim, like the last one, but it's items. So basically what it does is it takes the gold in Skyrim, renames them septims. Like usually in lore, that's how you refer to money, is septims, because who's on the coin, septum. So not only does it change that, so when you pick up something off of a chest or something like that, and then you're also going to see a visual change to septums as well, which is the removal of those kind of jagged edges around the coin, as well as just kind of an overall smoothness of the coin, and maybe like a little tattered and like nicked and stuff. Makes it look like it's more part of the universe, so it's a little bit more immersive. And if you're familiar with my first part of the best graphics mods on Skyrim series that I started, you'll know that the Static Mesh Improvement mod did something similar in that it smoothed some things like ropes and other objects in the game, as well as the High Poly project. This is just like another addition to that. Now this mod is something that probably a lot of you are familiar with or have seen before, and if you've been watching any of my videos, I've pretty much had this in since I started making Skyrim mod videos. And this mod is just really cool. It adds light sources that emit lights, which makes sense. There's lights that come through windows, even in the interiors. There's smoke effects for the candles. There's reflections off the water, on top of maybe the reflections and stuff we see from the lighting mods that we already have installed, as well as just some overall shadows in specific places. Taverns look cooler, and just really an overall natural look to the game that makes it look a little less artificial and more like you're walking through the world of Skyrim, and that is by definition an immersive mod. There are additions to this mod as well that you can install, but I think this one is the one you should probably download if you're only going to use one, but I'll put those links in the description down below. This mod is also another one that I've been using for a while, that you probably have seen in past Skyrim videos on my channel, but I thought this was important to put in the Best Graphics Mods Part 2 because it's a pretty awesome mod that does a lot of like little things to the embers and fires, but also won't be incompatible with something like adding flame effects from other mods. This particular version of the mod is actually compatible specifically with the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch, so if you're not using that, there is a version that drops that support, but that is pretty much all there is to say about this one. It's a really cool mod, well worth the 27 megabytes to improve your game that much more. So to round things out, we have a mod that adds a little bit of a different texture to the Ivy in the game and makes it just a little bit better looking. And the version that we're using in this video is actually utilizing the enhanced texture detail mod that we talked about in the first best graphics mods video on the channel. And this is just one of those things where it just adds a little bit extra to the towns that have the Ivy and such, and it works well with some of the other mods we just talked about, like the Embers and the enhanced lights and FX mods. So this is a great mod to kind of round out the kind of top 5 here, as well as add on to the mods we talked about in the first video in this series. That's going to do it for part 2 of the best graphics mods for Skyrim, or at least as far as I can see it. If you guys have any suggestions for other mods I should check out in this series, or general feedback for me, because I know when I put these together it might be intuitive for me, but when I actually put it out there and other people can watch it, it might not be as great of a video in my mind as it is when it's actually out there. So let me know what you guys think of the video, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see all of you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching again. Have a good one. Bye.